Hi, this is Karen Rowland, founder of Hush Providence. Welcome to my new weekly well-being podcast, Real People, Real Conversations, Real Life. We'll be talking about all things relating to the human experience. What makes up a life? What creates joy and happiness? What makes humans the same or different? How do we care for ourselves and each other? We'll even try to answer the 5 W's of well-being: who, what, when, where, and why, and how this all fits together. A little ambitious? Maybe, but join us as we connect with local topic experts, peers, mentors, and healers. Welcome to Hush Providence, a well-being podcast. I'm thrilled today to welcome Ilhiana Rojas Saldana. Welcome.
Thank you, Karen. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So Ilhiana is the founder and owner, executive leadership coach at BeLIVE. She's been doing that for 5 years, which I can't believe it's already been 5 years. So congratulations on that. You're a best-selling author of Extraordinary Latinas and International Women of Color Who Boss Up, Elevating Women in Their Stories. Co-president, United Latinas, Inc. So you have 2 companies.
Yes.
Chief Development Officer at ALPFA Boston, which is the Association of Latino Professionals for America. Vice President, Board of Directors, National Wellness Institute. Founding board member of Thousand Faces. Founding advisory board of Wise Her, and past vice chair of the Rhode Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Wow, that's a lot.
It is. It's a mouthful.
Congratulations, though. That's amazing. Your success has been amazing. And I have a listing here of all of the awards that you've recently acquired, including the 2023 P&G Alumni Awards for D&I. Congratulations. You're definitely on a mission to transform lives, workplaces, and company cultures. You're passionate about elevating unheard voices, igniting performance, and empowering clients as an executive and leadership strategy coach. So the recent 2023 Latin America Conference, hosted by Harvard Business School and MIT, identified some common challenges of underrepresentation, underinvestment, and systemic inequities. A common theme is that this community will continue to be the driver of accelerated growth, innovation, and talent worldwide. To that end, I know that you recently attended a CEO roundtable in New York. Maybe you could speak to some of the statistics and this growing population.
Absolutely. And I think the numbers and understanding the importance and the impact on everybody, right? It's critically important. If we look at the latest numbers, the U.S. Hispanic or Latinx population, Latina population is the fastest growing. It's 2.6 times faster than any other group, at least in the US specifically, and that also continues to be the case around the world, maybe not as fast, but still growing. It's one of those that are growing. Specifically for the US, if Hispanics, Latinos were considered an independent country as such, actually we'd be the 5th largest country in the world, even beyond France, even beyond the UK and India. So as a country, we'd be the 5th largest. And that just shows the impact that this group, this population has. However, despite being 18% or close to 19% of the U.S. population, we are the responsible for 73% of the growth from a U.S. labor perspective. So even there, we're seeing the impact that Latinos have in the U.S. and becoming the most important contributors in the years to come, especially when we're seeing trends like of workers going out of trends like the Great Resignation, right, where people are moving out, or the retirement age is moving, and Latinx is the one that that keeps contributing actually people within the workforce. So all of these are really important data points to consider for any company, for any industry, for any organization, as they look into how to fill the pipelines, moving forward in the years to come. Latinx really is becoming the center point to do that. But unfortunately, also data shows that it was what was discussed in the Harvard and MIT that conference that happened, or summit that happened a couple of weeks ago. It was reinforced last week in New York. We still continue to be the most underrepresented, under-supported, undervalued population as such. So it's not helping the story and underserved. So there needs to be a more intentional focus from leaders, from organizations, from a lot of different places to be able to relook at the numbers. And I just want to give one more data point that came up again last week, was that from a DEI perspective, there clearly are some strides of, building DEI strategies into certain companies. However, by doing metrics from a BIPOC population, or however the metrics are in each organization seen, which it's lumping underrepresented groups together, that's still not helping, to try to make a difference, because there is the representation and the equity is not being done across in a fair way across all underrepresented groups. It's just like being lumped together and check the box, which is resulting in Latinos becoming significantly lower in that representation and that support and that mentorship and access to all of these opportunities. So the numbers are actually not even growing. They're actually coming in decline in many cases. So that is an added layer of complexity to this whole thing.
It's really an opportunity, though, for talent leaders to kind of, just step back and realize what's actually happening. And there's so much movement, like you mentioned, in and out. So this is definitely an opportunity for them to kind of refocus on that population. Is well-being, do you see, being seen and being proud of your heritage is all part of well-being. Do you see that as a trend as well?
Absolutely. And definitely it's one of the growing industries in general, or the growing trends that's driving the growth of the industry. And I think COVID in a way reflected something that we've been seeing as a trend, but I think it just took it through the roof in terms of the importance of making space for us from all different levels, right? From a mental health perspective, from a physical perspective, from all of the different touch points that wealth and that well-being have an impact in our lives, even financial well-being, like the impact that it has on our stress levels and our anxiety. And in this fast-paced environment, which is not going to get any slower, let's face it and let's accept that. The reality is that if we don't start making space and integrating those well-being habits as part of our day-to-day, burnout rates are just going to go through the roof. And then that has other implications, both individually and then for organizations.
Hopefully the C-suite is aware of all of this and making changes, the systemic changes that are needed, not just throwing money and over-investing in one-off programming, so yeah, there's lots to think about. I also wanted to touch briefly, I know you're working on this multi-generational presentation, and just talk a little bit about that, because it's very, it's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for the first time ever, we have 5 generations working in the workplace, right? Together, from Gen Z all the way through traditionalists or all these 5 generations. And although we've had different generations working in the workplace side by side, having so many with so many differences in terms of ways of working, in terms of approaching things, in terms of values, in terms of what's important, in terms of even communication, it is creating, on the one hand, you can look at it like the glass half empty or half full, right? You can look at all the challenges and the barriers and the conflict that's happening and the stress that it's creating in the cultures and the anxiety that's creating within corporate culture. But on the other, it's creating incredible opportunity because it's driving innovation. It's really creating spaces that, when approached from the right approach, the collaboration, the problem resolution, the innovation, just in general, the environment becomes a better place to be in, and people can really start going back to work excited about the work and the impact that they're doing, because there's true, feeding from each other and offering diverse perspectives that we would not see in other timelines, so to speak, or in other times in the past, because there's this great difference in lived experiences.
I love that. It's just, embracing each other and learning from each other, every day it's definitely a great lesson there. And now a shout out to our sponsor, the Good Seed Market, 138 Central Avenue, Seekonk, Massachusetts. Started in 1989 by 3 friends with a goal of creating a neighborhood market offering simple, natural, organic products for a healthy lifestyle. Now a member of the Independent Natural Foods Retailer Association, our friends at the Good Seed are offering our listeners a 10% discount on their first purchase just by mentioning Hush Providence. The Good Seed Market, a place where ideas can grow. So I want to give you some time to talk about 1,000 Faces. You talked about financial well-being, so maybe just kind of touch on that a little bit.
Absolutely. Yes. And that's also critically important. And in the case of 1,000 Faces, it's a community-driven investment club where we support and fund female founders around the world that regularly do not have access to funding for a variety of reasons. So we are able to provide them that support, that funding, that mentoring through 1,000 Faces. And these female founders, they're all SDG focused companies, which means that they are socially and environmentally responsible. But like I said, they have difficulty to access funding. And 1,000 Faces, through its membership, or it's a decentralized autonomous organization, which means that the funding comes from its members through NFTs, and then as members, there's voting in terms of where the funds and how the funds are allocated. So it's not driven by just one or a couple of individuals. It's sort of all together being able to support. And we just finished our first round, our first cohort that started with 30 female founders. We ended up with going through all of them, and then three were the finalists that got the funding, but everybody else got the support and the mentorship that was required. And then we're going to kick off the second cohort shortly. So we're very excited about that. And the initiatives are just incredible.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that. Just paying it forward. That's really, really good. So what's next for you? Because you're not doing enough, clearly.
It's continuing to build on my personal mission to support and elevate women, and specifically the Hispanic population, but just women in general. And if I think about Latinas, Latinas of all the groups are the most underrepresented, where the wage gap is the worst. So the specific focus through my company, United Latinas, to be able to then elevate and provide that support, that's going to continue to grow significantly, so that we can, with all of this data of the importance of supporting Latinos, we are going to drive that agenda forward through United Latinas. And then just being present in any space where elevating voices, unheard voices is required. I'll be there to be that voice, or to bring my network together, because it's not only about one voice being heard, it's about all of us. So creating that collaboration, that network of where we all rise together. So, and many events coming up this year, definitely.
You're definitely living your purpose with your passion. I mean, it comes across, and it's inspiring. So I also wanted to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So what type of self-care routines do you have in place?
Actually, there are several. I've been very intentional this year about just listening to me and my body. And the moment that I feel like I'm being stressed, or that my eyes are closing, or that I'm just tired, I'm listening more, and knowing that I need to take that 10-minute break or half an hour break or whatever it is, just to recover my energy, maybe through meditation, just breathing. Sometimes it's just like a little nap. Whatever is needed, I'm listening more to my body. I'm eating healthier, doing a little bit more exercise. It's hard when you're always on, and I work with people all around the world, so it's sort of like being on 24/7, because I don't want to be the bottleneck for things not happening. But I've learned how to listen to how to be on, and then just take a space to be with myself, with my family, taking those off moments, and just enjoying, remembering that why I'm doing things, and then that it's important that I'm okay. Otherwise, then I will not have the energy to be able to support others and fulfill my purpose.
That's awesome. I love the balance. So I would encourage everyone to connect with Ilhiana on LinkedIn. You have some amazing posts on there, and to just learn more about your amazing story and all the great work that you're doing. So please, definitely everyone should check that out. And I just wanted to thank you for joining us today, and thank of all of our listeners. And until next time, be well. Thank you. Bye, Ilhiana.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for listening to Hush Providence, a well-being podcast. This would not be possible without the incredible help from Jamie Farinella and Stephanie Whitehead on branding and logo concept, John Papa's endless generosity, David Davignon and Austin Lynch for their skilled technical expertise, and of course, our amazing guests and all of you, our listeners. Until next time, be well.